Good morning, fans of the new network. It is James Ernest here on Sarah's playlist. We have a member of Scarefield, vocalist Markus Kristoffersson, and we'll be discussing his new album, A Quiet Country. So we are excited, Marcus. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's gonna be a pleasure.
How did your love of horror movies affect your music?
I guess a lot. In general, um, I always strive to write on the more horror side, but particularly for this project for Scarefield, um, since we wanted especially the '80s horror to be a very central part of the album. Um, Being a fan of not only movies but also literature uh, when it comes to horror was a great benefit, I should say.
That's awesome. It definitely shows your passion for the topic.
Yeah, I hope so.
Fans and critics have been left awestruck by your pure melodic tones, your speediness, your thrash madness. How does that make you feel?
Awesome, I guess. I mean, how would that make one feel? I don't know. It's nice to have all the appreciation. I mean, we have been working on this album, I guess, since we met until up until the album release was probably around 3 years, all in all. So having to go through all that time without revealing anything to anybody, you get these thoughts in your head on how it's going to be perceived and received by the audience, and I gotta say, it's lived up to at least my personal expectations. I feel proud.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Sounds like a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of hard work went into this passion
Yeah,
project.
sure, of course, yes. You could say that.
So, how did working on Shiver set the table for Scarefield's creative process?
Yeah, so um, just a little bit of background to that. So before we met, me and Simone, me personally, I didn't have that much experience doing vocals in the style of thrash per se. I was doing more of the melodic death metal screams. I'm from Sweden, so naturally, of course. But Shiver was the first song we made that I actually got to explore that part of myself. So in that way, it was um, very formative towards the creative process of the entire album. Now, practically, I don't know if it was any different than anything I've done before. I mean, he sent me the music, I recorded some stuff, and then we went back and forth until we felt that was good. And then in the end, um, I flew down to Italy, and we recorded all of the vocals for the entire album in a week, I think.
Part that I really thought was neat about Shiver is that how you were working on it prior to even the band having a name, the way I understand it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess most of the songs we actually worked on before the band even having a name. The name took quite a while to get to.
So tell us the story behind the name.
Yeah, so I mean, we when we had I think we had probably finished the the main writing on 4 or 5 songs, and we started to discuss like, okay, what are we gonna call this? Uh, and we had an entire Excel document with all the ideas for song names, for album names, and for the band name, of course. So I think we had all in all probably about 10 different band names that were going around. But I think at the point when we decided to use the scarecrow as like one of our main imagery for the band, that kind of solidified Scarefield as the name pretty much. Um, we wanted the imagery of the scarecrow and the cornfields to be very central to this 80s horror feel that we were going for. And so basically, Scarefield is just an amalgamation of the two words scarecrow and cornfield.
Oh, cool. Why did you choose to release A Quiet Country on CD, streaming, and vinyl?
Yeah, so I guess being like the first album, a lot of bands probably wouldn't be selling physical copies, but that was actually Simone's idea from the start. Even I think before he contacted me, that he wanted to have digital and physical copies of the album. Um, and that was very exciting for me because I this is the first project I've been a part of that has ever released a vinyl. I mean, I've had some that have had CDs, but um, this vinyl turned out so amazing. Yeah, so I guess that was always the plan, and the difficulties we had with that was since we're doing everything ourselves, we're doing all the, um, I mean, outside of the music part, um,
The editing, the
how
producing,
to
all that good stuff. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, apart, I think the only thing we didn't personally do on the music itself was the mastering. So, but anyway, when it comes to selling physical copies, doing that as a fresh band with not a lot of funds backing everything was how to actually do it in practice. And also, we wanted to be able to sell to as wide a market as possible. Means like worldwide shipping, of course.
Mhm.
So that was that took quite a while to solve, which is one of the reasons why the process took so long. I mean, we were sitting on all the songs like they were ready to be released, but since we had the idea in our head, we know what we wanted to do, so we had to solve all these different problems. And so we were looking at there are some different like print on demand services for CDs and some for vinyls as well. So we're using one called CD Click at the moment, and it's been very good. The quality of the vinyls is amazing, and the printing worked perfectly. Everything was done in time, and yeah, but it took some time to find.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear it worked out. I know that collectors love it when they can have a band's actual physical copy, a CD or a record, and it makes it so much nicer.
Yeah, no, we thought so too.
So, what is the dual meaning behind the name of your album, A Quiet Country?
Yeah, so when thinking about the countryside, um, you can easily imagine peace and quiet, not that much people. You can relax, and it can be very nice. I mean, um, there's a lot of nature, and there's a lot of yeah, you know. But all of those things can also have like a darker side. So, I mean, if there's not that much people and you start hearing weird noises, then that's kind of weird. Um, Things can start happening in the night. Um, it's like something that is hidden or unknown. It's the horror of the unknown. It's the weirdness of the mystery that I think you can also find in a lot of these classical horror movies. I mean, just take um, Friday the 13th, for example. It takes place in out in the countryside, and that's one of the reasons why it's so scary because it's very remote. If something happens, you're pretty much alone.
Definitely. Yeah, I just like the fact of it. It felt like that famous line, "It's quiet, too quiet," kind of
Yeah.
just yeah. Because on one hand, you're right. It's a quiet place. It's out in the country. It seems like it's safe. It seems like it's secure. But yet,
Hmm.
then you're right. Is it too quiet? Is there something going to happen? That duality, I really think, comes through.
Yeah, it's almost like an uncanny valley of
Mhm.
of a place, you know.
So, why did you incorporate a wide variety of styles, be it thrash, speed, power metal into your album?
I think that came very naturally given how different both of our musical backgrounds are. As I said, I mainly uh, dabbled in the melodic death metal scene previously, so stuff like In Flames or Soilwork or Scar Symmetry, stuff like that. Um, so that's where my like main influences vocally came from, and of course, Simone's influences were mainly from speed metal like Blind Guardian or thrash metal like Pantera and stuff like that. So, um, of course, even if the themes that were going into the music were mainly the speed slash thrash metal, I would bring my influences into that, and we also wanted the music to not just be a rehash of all the music that came in the 80s, but actually be something that can transcend it in a bit and can uh, feel original, even though it's like a callback.
So is it more your influence or his influence that the story is so narrative driven? Because I really like that.
Yeah, I like that too, and I was thinking about that. I don't know, but I feel like I like writing in a story driven way. It makes it's easy for me to picture a story in my mind, and of course, since we're being so very influenced by horror, it's easy to take influence from stories. um, and how to tell the story, and especially how to tell it in music. And I really like how, for me, our album is kind of a little storybook that you can open up and you can find all these short stories. Um, so I guess that's why it came out like that.
I'll say really enjoyed the music video for Children in the Corn. I'm excited about the potential of other music videos for the album. I mean, gosh, I just like how it is so cinematic and it's so intense. Was the goal to capture, it sounds like the goal was to capture the feeling of those 80 horrors classics.
Yes, it sure was. We released 3 singles as well at the beginning of last year, and those also had accompanying music videos, which were also very uh, 80s horror movie like um, videos.
Nice.
So that's definitely what we were going for, capturing that feel, that classic feel. Yes.
I hate to admit it, you did get me with the jump scare there in Children of the Corn. When you're opening up that melody that suddenly it breaks, and then the fury of the guitarist and the rage of the vocal, well, the rage of you get get me every time. It just oh my gosh, it's great.
Awesome. I think that was almost accidental. I feel like I don't think we were going for a jump scare there, but if it works, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, it works great. And then in Ancient Evil, you kind of depart from being 80s cinema to more of
Hmm.
traditional literature. With that H.P. Lovecraft. So how many times did you fall asleep reading one of his books? Not like in a
Well,
bad way, but I mean like at
no,
the
no,
end of the
no, no,
night.
no.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Will people be able to see the video in this, or is it just audio?
We can see video. Yeah.
Okay, so I have uh, a bunch of 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 books.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I've spent many nights falling asleep to reading, listening to. I even have some of these. Hold on. I have a couple of these. These are, oh, sorry, uh, illustrative um,
Oh
books.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah, Cthulhu. Yeah.
why isn't it working? Can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, because now I can see the name. Yep, that works.
there we go.
Yeah.
So it's illustrated by this guy Francois Barringer, and so it's the entire story, the entire novel, and they're illustrate really well illustrated artworks on the entire pages. So yeah,
That's
I'm
pretty
a
cool.
big fan of H.P. Lovecraft. I also have the classic Arkham horror board games,
Mhm.
and I watch like all of the movies that are based on Lovecraft or inspired by Lovecraft. I love all of that stuff.
Even the Scooby Doo.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Nice.
You gotta.
Yeah, that is awesome. In Dead Center, you're heavy and thrashy. It's just so intense. It really gives the audience the feeling of making that tough decision. What's the toughest decision you've had to make?
uh, Answering this question, I don't know. No, no, that's no, but that is a tough question actually. Um, I think when when writing that song, it wasn't as much about being indecisive as much as being like stuck in a place in between, uh, personality wise. I often go back to this idea that you are uh, you're a different person a lot of the time, um, than who you really are. Uh, like when you're going out in the public, you're going to the supermarket, or you're at your job, or when you're interacting with people in general.
Yeah, you're playing a
Um,
role. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. And I've always found that very interesting. So in that sense, I mean, it sometimes feels like, well, you're lying to yourself, or you're lying to other people. Um, and that's I don't know. It's weird to me, because I feel like I mean, at the same time, you always get told like, oh, you just gotta be yourself.
yeah,
But are you, like, ever? Um, I guess you are in your own head, but
yeah.
yeah. Uh, not to go too deep into it, but it's very it feels like that could easily drive a person mad.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, definitely. You have to play a role. You have to play a character. I mean, not just, the people at Disney World who dress up like Mickey Mouse,
Yeah,
but the
exactly.
people that are running the concession stand, the people that, are this, the service industry. They all have to be a certain way and do a certain thing. And is that who they really are? Or I agree with you're saying. That's quite deep.
Yeah, and I also because I used to work in the service in this industry as well, so I know how it is, like, dealing with customers. And I mean, most of the time you don't even think about it, but then you go home and you sit, you get to sit and you get to record all this music and write all these vocals, and I mean, they don't know that I do that. They don't know who I that's because that's who I am.
Exactly. Exactly. They see you one way and then you're completely someone completely different. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Now, it's most of the song or all the songs are based on, scary movie premises, there's books, but I feel that this one is the scariest song of them all, Alter a Fear, because I understand it's based on real life experiences. When they don't get
Yeah.
scary in real life, yeah,
No, no, that's for sure. No, so that's not my experience. That's actually Simone's experience, but he has told it to me so many times. So I'll try to relay it. Yeah. So they have this summer festival of some kind, I think, in Italy. And when he was a kid, he and some friends, I think they were in their early teens, probably. So they went out, just, kids shenanigans, looking into places, just going somewhere to have fun. And they found this. There's a lot of, like, old churches and stuff, like, out in the country in Italy. So they found one of these very old, like, I don't know if you could even call it a church. They're like they look like these small chapels, basically.
yeah,
Um, and they noticed that there were some people there, so they went to check it out. And when they looked through the window, they could see all of these people in the robes and the black hoods and everything,
Ooh,
uh, basically praying to an altar of Satan. Uh, so naturally they were terrified, and I think he told me that like after that moment they didn't even speak. He and his friends, they didn't even speak about it until like a couple of months after it happened because they were so scarred by that. And I think for Simone's part now, I'm he's not here to speak for himself, but I'm pretty sure that that has something to do with his fascination for the horror theme that he developed after that.
that makes a lot of sense. Always felt like a change of pace on the album. It felt more like a rock ballad. I enjoyed how it brings the listeners to an intimate atmosphere, though you use a regretful tones. Was that intentional?
Yeah, the it's like I think the main theme of the song is actually regret. So it's looking back on past mistakes and trying to see what could have been different, what actually happened. Um, not and it's not in a way to place blame. That's also very important. It's it's very reflective. Uh, I think everybody can relate to that. Everybody's looked back at something that they've done or something that happened and wish they made some different choices. Uh, but sometimes you don't, and being able to look back on that and reflect upon it, and that can actually that can make you a better person. I mean, that's how you learn, right? So
It doesn't. You don't get a much better name for a last track than "Goodbye." How were you able to capture the feeling of panic or in a panic attack during that song?
yeah. Yeah, that was my idea was like when we were placing the songs on the album, and I was like, well, we have a song called Goodbye.
You got to put it last.
It has
Yeah.
to be the last song, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, also like the song even ends like the last words even said on the album is goodbye, so it's just perfect. No, but in regards to the panic attack, I have had myself multiple panic attacks in my life, and so has my girlfriend, and I'm pretty sure Simone has too. So when we were writing that song, uh, I thought to myself, and this is also very common if you go and read about people's experiences with panic attacks. Like the first time you have a panic attack, if you don't know that it's a panic attack, it can feel like you're dying, like you're having a heart attack or a stroke or whatever. So I wanted to capture that feeling in the song because when I got the music sent to me by Simone, and I was thinking about the feeling, and I thought, hey, this is like a very hectic, like a very panicky song. Um, so I just thought about how it felt for me the first time I had the panic attack and what my thoughts were, and yeah, so and I wrote it down, and then me and my girlfriend, she sometimes helps me with the writing, which is nice, and we sat and we like discussed back and forth, like, okay, is this can you like maybe put this in a different way and stuff like that, and yeah, that's how it happened.
Well, that's very brave of you to share that with the world, that experience that you've had. I'm sure other folks can relate, and it probably means a lot to them.
I hope so.
So, the most important question, because I haven't got to ask this one yet, is when are we getting a tour? When can I buy my dang tickets?
uh Man, I wish I could say like tomorrow. No.
Yeah.
I mean the problem right now is we're only two people, so we don't have a lineup to go play live, but we are working to solve that problem. So we are currently looking for guitarists and a drummer. We have been talking to a lot of people. There are some stuff there in the motion, but I don't want to like go into
You don't
that
want to
too much in
jinx it.
detail
Yeah,
yet.
I get that.
Yeah, but we have been talking with a booking agency, and if mm, no, I shouldn't say that much, but we've been talking with a booking agency, and hopefully we can start going out soon. We're looking into starting off in Sweden and then moving out into Europe from there, and then I mean, we would of course want to go everywhere. So it's just a
Exactly.
matter of how to actually do it, and getting the people together, and just going on stage, performing, and making it grow.
Definitely. I was going to say, shoot, we'd be happy to have you anytime, but we especially would love to have you in our area in October because, oh my gosh, to hear this music during the festivals, during that kind of feel,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that would be perfect.
No, I think would be a perfect Halloween act.
Definitely. Well, it has been a pleasure having you on the show, Marcus. Before we let you go, where on social media, where on the web, where can we find out more about A Quiet Place in Scarefield?
Yeah,
Oh, I mean,
so
A Quiet Country. Sorry, I keep wanting to say the movie's name. I apologize.
yeah, I get you. I get you. It's fine. So first of all, scarefield.com. There you can find all the links to all the social media, all the streaming sites, and you can find our merchandise. Give us money. No. No, but seriously, we have I personally designed the merchandise. We're using Teespring.
Mhm.
Um and we have some very nice pieces. We have also checked the quality, so it's good stuff. Um, and if you don't have money to purchase anything, then if you can share our stuff on social media or anything, everything helps, and we appreciate everything that anyone does. Also, if you want to contact us or leave us a comment or a message anywhere, just do it. We read everything, we respond to everything, and we love hearing what everybody has to say. Uh, Apart from the creative process, that's the best part about doing this. So don't feel like you're wasting our time or anything. Just throw us a message or something. Um, Other than that, I mean, just help the Spotify algorithm.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know.
that is awesome. Well, like I said, Marcus, it has been a pleasure having you on the show today. We've enjoyed it. And then, yeah, definitely down the road when you announce your tour of the States, we'd love to have you back on. And we look forward to hearing more from you all in the
Yeah,
future.
thank you so much for having me. Of course, we'd be happy to come on. For hopefully next time it won't just be me. Maybe Simone can join us as well.